start, let's get to our panel. Rina Shah is a political analyst and commentator. Spencer Critchley serves as a Democratic strategist and communications consultant. Also with us is columnist Brandon Bryce. He hosts the Bryce is Right radio program. And Eleanor Clift is a political columnist with the Daily Beast. Thanks, everyone, for being with us. Rina Shah, at this stage, there's something like 26 states which are likely to ban, or in some cases will be certain to ban, abortions without the protection of Roe versus Wade. The Democratic Senator, Elizabeth Warren, she has warned that the most vulnerable will be the hardest hit by this court decision. Let's listen to some of what she had to say.
What I feel angry about is that an extremist Supreme Court is going to impose their views on the rest of America. And you know who this is going to fall hardest on? It's not going to fall hardest on well-to-do women. They can afford to get on a plane and go to another state where abortion is legal. They can afford to leave the country. Who this is going to fall hardest on is going to be on poor women.
So, Rina, does the senator have a point there?
Well, I rarely say this, but Senator Warren has a great point there. I disagree with her on many things, but she is absolutely spot on here. The data tells us that Black and Latina women, according to the Guttmacher Institute, are more likely to seek an abortion, and that's due to income inequality and cost barriers to birth control. So when we're looking at this issue, we need to recognize that those Black and Latina women also face more barriers to abortion due to systemic inequality as well, and Medicaid restrictions on abortion care. So this is exactly what has been feared and talked about in liberal circles for a long time. But if you're somebody like me, I made my career in American conservative politics for many years and continue to work with many who are fiscally conservative. And look, I'm a little socially liberal myself, but I have always given a Mario Cuomo answer, if you will. I'm anti-abortion for myself, but I'm pro-choice for other women. I look at this issue entirely through the lens of democracy. And I think it's important to actually look at it that way, because when you're putting that lens on, you see this for what it is. And this is about bodily autonomy. And I believe that if American women don't have body autonomy, and that's taken from them, they're not really equal citizens, whether you're talking legally, politically, economically. And that's really important for us to recognize as we move into the next century, because how else are we to be viewed on the world stage? Are we going to be hypocrites? Is America going to be viewed as hypocritical? What leg do we have to stand on if we take away reproductive rights? I may not agree with abortion. Other people may not like it either. I'm not saying taxpayer dollars should be funding abortions, but I'm saying that American women should have the right to do what they want to do with their bodies. And so today, if Roe were overturned, we would see some really, really big problems. 25 million American women would lose access to abortion, and that is a problem, because again, there are people out there who are victims of incest and rape and have unintended pregnancies, and they deserve access to abortion if they want to choose it. It's about reproductive rights, and it's not my decision for what another woman does with her body.
Rina, the other big challenge for President Biden right now, the rising inflation numbers. Let's listen to the conservative Democrat, Senator Joe Manchin. He's talking about his concerns about inflation. Let's listen.
Inflation is the #1 driving factor, I believe, in my state. Right now, it's hurting everybody, not just at the pump, but at the grocery store, at the drugstore, at the pharmaceutical. Everything they do is driven by inflation. They're seeing it everywhere.
There was a recent poll that was published, Rina. It shows that Americans trust Republicans more than Democrats when it comes to handling inflation. But how big a problem is this for Democrats? And is this something that Republicans can run on?
Well, inflation is a massive problem. It's one that I believe that President Biden is daily just scratching his head about, because he's probably wondering how we got here so fast. I say that because I really don't see a great plan from this administration to really fix the pain that so many Americans in my home state of West Virginia, for example, though I no longer live there, but I visit often and have family interests there. I must say it's being felt in every part of the country, but in poorer states like, again, my home state of West Virginia, Manchin's completely completely right. It's gone beyond the pump. It's on the grocery shelves. I have 3 children myself. I live in next door Virginia, and spend time in Washington D.C. I can tell you, with 3 children, every day I'm looking at the prices of things, and I'm thinking, I'm having sticker shock. I'm having caregivers come to my home and calculating how much they're spending on gas to get here. So this is really a big problem for every single American. Look, the Federal Reserve has taken steps, of course. Yesterday, Jerome Powell, the chairman, announced steps to curb this inflation, to do something. The Federal Reserve had to do something. Of course, the rate hike was not what many were fearing, which was a 75-point basis hike, but it was 50 points. So this is a moment where I think a lot of younger folks like myself, young families, were really confused. This is, I'm not sure I have the real trust that I had when I voted for Biden. I was a Republican who crossed party lines to vote for Biden, but I see a lot around me who did the same in my friend circles and family who are pretty upset right now. And I just don't know that Democrats can message their way out of this one, because to pick up on an earlier point, when we talk about the abortion debate too, when had Democrats really gone for the jugular? When has our messaging had teeth? It feels like Republicans continue to win the day on the messaging because they're willing to get ugly. They're willing to sling the mud. And on the fiscal stuff, Republicans saying, I don't think, look, Trump artificially wanted to keep interest rates low.
Right.
The president does not, historically we know, the U.S. president does not have anything to do with the economy in so many ways, but we unfairly, as American voters, tied the president to the success of the economy. I will say this, the Biden administration kept printing money, and that was the problem. So we are in a really unique situation.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. We have run out of time. Thanks to all of you for being with us.